crypto world is buzzing right now, and there's a lot going on. Let's start with Bitcoin. It's sitting around 82,000, and the RRP reverse repo balance has skyrocketed to 126 billion, which is pretty wild. But here's the crazy part. Altcoins, those smaller, riskier coins, have gone up even more than when Bitcoin was at 92K. Makes you wonder, right? Some people analyze Bitcoin but end up buying altcoins instead. Here's the thing with Bitcoin, it's not about the wild ups and downs anymore. What people are waiting for is stability, slow, steady growth driven by fundamentals, not just market manipulation. Think of it like inflation. It creeps up slowly but surely. Now let's talk about today's market movements in UTC plus 6 time zone. 8 to 10, markets open, but it's chill. Nothing crazy. 11 to 15, not much happening except some data from Japan. Bitcoin's just coasting. 16 to 18, things might dip a bit. Red zone. 18 to 2200, some positive data comes out. Claims are up, but GDP and pending home sales are down. Bitcoin could rise here. 2308, the reverse repo program RRP spikes and Bitcoin might dip again. Now let's talk about the bigger picture. The US economy is throwing some curveballs. New home sales dropped, which usually means the dollar DXY should weaken, but instead it got stronger. Why? Because the debt ceiling got approved, which gave the dollar a temporary boost. But don't get too excited. It's likely just a higher low, meaning it'll probably drop again soon. The Fed is in a tough spot too. If they were truly data dependent, they'd be freaking out and cutting interest rates already. Jobs are down, unemployment is up, housing is struggling, and even though money's been printed, it's not circulating well. But nope, the Fed's holding steady at 4.5%, which is still too high for investments to really take off. New home sales are plunging because mortgage rates spiked. That's bad news, but the dollar's still strong because the government's making money off mortgages. It's like they're trying to prevent deflation by issuing more debt. And get this, credit card defaults just hit $46 billion, the highest since the 2008 financial crisis. That's scary, but Powell, the Fed chair, isn't sweating it yet because consumer spending PCE is still holding up. But if unemployment keeps rising, he might have to cut rates. Speaking of rates, Trump's out here playing 4D chess. He's pushing to cut deficits and doesn't care if the stock market takes a hit, but the market's going to test him. If stocks drop more than 10%, he might back off. Meanwhile, he's pressuring the Fed to cut rates by messing with the data. It's a whole power struggle, and liquidity is the key. When liquidity dries up, Bitcoin tends to drop. So keep an eye on that. China just injected 215 billion yuan into the system via reverse repos. That's a big deal because it shows they're keeping liquidity flowing, which could pump Bitcoin. But here's the funny thing, they always make these announcements after the market closes. Why not do it in the morning? Who knows, but it's working. BlackRock just sold 5,002 Bitcoin. Fidelity sold 730 Bitcoin. In total, 8,200 Bitcoin has been dumped in just 3 days. But hold on, Fidelity still holds 200,000 BTC, and BlackRock has nearly 600,000. Selling 0.3% of their stash isn't exactly a panic move. They're pros, they know what they're doing. More likely, it's weak investors selling off while these hedge funds quietly keep stacking. After all, they don't get to manage billions by making dumb moves. The bottom line? Bitcoin's down, but altcoins are holding strong, which is a sign that people still believe in Bitcoin's long-term potential. It's like the market saying, yeah, Bitcoin's taking a hit, but we're not giving up on it. So while things might look shaky now, there's still a lot of faith in the crypto space. Just keep an eye on liquidity, Fed decisions, and those big players. They're the ones calling the shots.